Hello, everybody.
Hi. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Not bad for 83 degrees in February.
Right.
This morning I bundled up. I had a t-shirt, a turtleneck, a sweatshirt, and then probably around noon I said, "Oh my goodness, why did I make this decision? I need to do something else." And I was burning up.
That sounds a lot about like me, but I thought I was having a hot flash, and so my phone said it's 77, and I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you. I'm not crazy." So listen, welcome to More Books. We are talking tonight with none other than Miss Glory Edim. I am so excited to have her here tonight, as well as my two friends, Comia Flynn and Elbi Elm. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves so that everybody can get the feel of who we are and what we're talking about tonight. You guys already know me, so you should have been watching all along. But however, I'm one of the co-owners of More Books, and I'm here tonight. We always feature authors, but tonight we have a duo, I should say. She's 2 in 1. She's an author as well as a podcaster, and we're going to talk with her about her podcast, Well Read Black Girl. And it is Black History Month, and we're embarking on Women's History Month. So we're spending this last week and a half or a couple of days honoring both. So we have Miss Glory Edim here. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, and then we'll go to Comia and Elbi. Hi, Glory.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. It's an honor. Thank you for inviting me. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Comia? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elbi. I'm not Elbi. See, you two, your names are going to run together. And I knew it when I put you next to each other in the flyer. I was like, Glory Edim, Elbi Elm. Glory Edim. So go ahead and finish, Glory.
I was just saying that this year has been so special. You know, it's only February, but I'm excited that I'm doing this for Black History Month. And I just wanted to say thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. She's being very modest. This is the same person who had former President Barack Obama invade her Zoom in real life. So she's so calm and modest. We're going to drag all of that out of her shortly. Go ahead, Comia.
She was so cute when she said that. She was like, "Oh no, not me. Who, me?"
Yeah, I know.
Well, hi everybody. I'm Comia Flynn. I'm an influencer and author, and that's pretty much about me. We'll get into me a little bit more later on, but that's enough about me.
Oh my goodness, the modesty. Maybe I should go again because Elbi is the humble of the humble. What are you going to tell us, Elbi? Oh, I just exist.
I do. No, I'm Elbi Elm. I'm the founder of the Culturist Union, and I'm just really excited to be here with you ladies. I'm fangirling out right now, so this is very exciting for me.
Aww. So, okay, we're going to get right to it. We first of all, this is awesome. But we're going to talk about this after we talk about this podcast. And for those of you who don't know, she has a podcast. It's called Well Read Black Girl, and she has had a lot of influencers on there. I saw your list, and I saw my girl Gabrielle Union, and I started cheesing a little bit. But I wanted to know, you stated that writing is hard work. Can you expound on that? You mentioned that in one of your podcasts. What were you trying to convey?
Yes. So I have had the opportunity to have several different roles. The book club started off really modestly. It was 10 Black women in a circle talking about books and drinking wine. And now it's evolved to so many different things. So we have, the book. I wrote a second anthology last year, and now we have the podcast. And it's really about, in every situation, really investigating who we are as women, how we build our lives, how we support each other, how we gather together to build businesses, to impact politics. Like, we do everything. And it's about this collective movement that we have and how we can support each other in community. And I never imagined that the the book club would grow into, this movement, but it has, and I can only pay tribute to my faith, number one, but also just the power of Black women, what happens when we gather together and we support each other. So it's definitely my testimony that this experience has changed my life for the better, and I want to be generous and give back. So when folks call me up to join the book club, to do the Zoom, I do it. I say yes because so many people have said yes to me in my life, and I want to pay it forward.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
Wow. We can all attest to that here on here, because believe it or not, prior to us getting started, when we were backstage, I was telling Elbi that the two of you, aside from your names, kind of favor each other in that your philosophy to help others and to pay it forward. And Elbi is the owner of the Culturist Union, and she had a similar platform, which I'll let her expound on. But even in your writings, in your podcasting, she took away something that she's actually already doing. So I'll let her expound on that.
Well, thank you. I really do. I don't know if you would agree, but I think maybe it's the Howard air that gets into your lungs and kind of creates this go-getter, mentality and gusto when you're on that campus. So maybe that's what she's liking us to. Maybe there's
yes, HU will do it. Well, you have to be resourceful, resilient, and ready to go when you get on Howard's campus.
Absolutely. It is so yeah, I was telling Tia that when I read this book, I felt like I don't know, I felt like I was invited into this cosmic club where I got to gather and take up space with my sisters. I got to be their keepers. I got to see my story in theirs. And not only did it give me a new collection of books that I need to, a new canon of books that I need to read, but it also anchored me into this idea that all of us have this same, baseline beat. And we just, we're all together in this fight. Even if we've never met each other, it's just this kindred spirit. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, because that's amazing. And it touched me so much. But to talk about the Culturist Union a little bit, we started that in 2019, simply out of a need to create space for Black artisans here in the South. In Savannah, we have this beautiful city with all of these amazing local businesses and beautiful gathering spots. However, unlike major cities, we don't have a collective spot for Black creatives, period. And, it's one thing to go into a space and have to assimilate. And then there's another thing to be able to go into a space and be seen and feel comfortable and kind of let your that mask down a little bit, let your hair go a little bit. So I set out to do that. And, soon, Lord willing, we'll be open. And I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Thank you.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes, we're excited for her. We're very excited for her. So hopefully I can send you an invite when she does her ribbon cutting and you can come do a live. That'll be awesome.
You put her on the spot, but I would love that.
Well, you guys being that Howard bond, maybe y'all can work that out.
But I would love to. What school were you in? We're in school C, school B.
I was fine arts. So
fine art. That was my next guess. I was like, one of the two. That's amazing. Yeah, Howard. It really is in the air. Like you do find yourself, your footing, and gain like such a great foundation going to our university. Like, I don't know about you, but I feel like I could do anything. And even when I fail, like I'm okay with like picking myself right back up and getting out there. This is how it really prepares you.
Absolutely.
That's
I don't know if it's just walking up that hill every day or if it's the professors or what, but it definitely does. It gets you ready for the world.
That's wonderful.
Well,
I think you just say that.
Go ahead, Camille. Go ahead.
Between she and Elbi, I mean, you're inspiring so many people just saying that, like to pick yourself back up again. Even when you fall, you still feel that energy just from your school spirit. And I think that's outstanding. That's outstanding.
Not to mention, we have a vice president from Howard. So, you know, y'all on a roll now. You're definitely on a roll. That is awesome. I wanted to ask you, when I first saw the title, Well-Read Black Girl, I want to share this with you because growing up, I had a reading comprehension problem. I would not read out loud. If they did the speed reading or the call your name reading, I would go ahead and try to read the next paragraph so that if she ever called my name, I would be ready for the paragraph I think she's going to ask me to read. And so when I read this, the title alone stung me because prior to maybe 2 years ago when we got in the pandemic, you didn't have time to read or you didn't make time to read. And so the pandemic did give us an opportunity to think of out of the box things that we could do within our home that we normally wouldn't have done. So with that title, why even that title, Well-Read Black Girl? It is so strong. Where did that title come from?
That is a great question. And for me, it has layers to it. So initially, it was like a pet name that I had between me and my ex-boyfriend. It was just like something that he called me because I was always in the book and I was always reading. So it was almost like a little playful thing that we had. And when I actually started to think about the name in a more declarative way and think about just like how we think about ourselves, you know, there was a time period where it was illegal for African Americans to read, to open up a book. You could be punished for reading. And when I think about it in that way, it becomes a political statement that we can read and we can be part of American history. We can do all the things that, you know, people say that we can't do. Like we are defying the odds with our being as Black people. We are here. We are resilient. As someone said earlier, we have a vice president that is a Black woman. And so Well-Read Black Girl embodies all of that. We are well-read. We are resourceful. We are beautiful beings that have made a huge impact on society and culture. And for you to ignore that, to remove us from history is unacceptable. So and then also I think about the girl, you know, we're talking about Howard, you know, when you're with your girlfriend, you're like, hey girl, what's happening? You like, there's love in that statement. Just like that sister bond, that was like your collective girlfriends. Even this discussion here, it's like we're friends and we have this kind of universal thread that we understand as Black women. And so I was trying to embody all of that things, like an endearing pet name, a political statement, a declaration, and just like love and joy. And that I really feel like that embodies all of Blackness, to be honest. You know, like we have so many multitudes and there's not one way. Like we're 4 women on this screen and we have all different perspectives, you know, from the South, from the diaspora, politically motivated, like all of that, all different hair types, you know, like all of that I was trying to just like capture. And in that sentence, well-read Black girl, there's not one way to be well-read and there's not one way to be Black, you know? And so I was trying to express all of that. And, you know, it's been almost like 8 years, almost 10 years that like I've been doing this slowly, like the festival and now the podcast and all the books. So each time I grow with it and as it evolves, I have a better understanding of how to define it and talk to people about it. When you first met me, when I first started in year 1, I'm sure I would not have said all of this, you know, it's like as the organization has grown, I have grown, and I've been able to talk to so many amazing women and talk to my elders. I'm very mindful that this is an intergenerational conversation. So I'm like, I want to talk to the young folks too. I want to go back to colleges and talk to young girls in high school and talk to millennials and talk to everybody in between, because we need all those voices to talk about our reality in our life. So I hope that answers your question, but it's been just an evolution over time.
It did, because you spoke to a lot of things that I was thinking. It's bigger than this book. It's a movement. And so you basically gave us a blueprint when you said, and I'm glad that you mentioned that you've been doing this for 8 years, because most people, they will start out and feel as though if year one, it doesn't get where it needs to get or in the right hands or with the right person, I'm quitting. But you just said that, you know, I've been doing this for 8 years and each year I added on a layer. So each year you made sure that the well-read Black girl, which started off as a joke, which started off as a pet name, is now a household name. So I'm going to have to go back to all those nicknames that people gave me and see what I can make happen. Message. but you said a lot, and that was very powerful in how you orchestrated it. You put it out there, you spoke to people, you put it in a book, you turn around, and now you're at the podcast. What made you say, you know what, now it's time to do a podcast?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I was over the years, I've talked to so many authors, and I was encountering so many inspiring authors, people that wanted to be published or write their memoirs or, you know, write a young adult novel. People were asking me questions all the time, like, how do I do it? How do I do it? And it's back to that idea that there's not one way to do something, you know, especially when it comes to a creative life. Some people, they write a book for, you know, a couple of years, 1 or 2 years, and it's published. Other people might take a decade. It might take them their whole lifetime to write their story. And you can't compare and contrast. Like, you have to just be your own person and be secure in your own journey and ask questions and really investigate what you're trying to like share in the world. And so with the podcast, I really wanted to talk to authors about that. Like, how did you write your book? How did you get an agent? How did you write your book proposal? What is it like? Like, what is the emotional toll that happens when you're trying to give birth to a story and you're hitting roadblocks or you face rejections? Like, how do you keep going? And one of my favorite authors is Tiari Jones. She is like everything to me. Like, I give her so much credit for even supporting me and encouraging me to have Well-Read Black Girl and put my dreams out there, because she was the one person that was like, okay, if you're going to do this festival, I'm coming. I'll be your keynote. Had she not said that, I don't know if I would have had the courage to even go forward and have the festival. When I met her, I was like, oh, I'm planning for this festival. I'm going to do it in 2 years. She says, sis, you need to do it. Do it tomorrow. You can do it in 3 months. You know what I mean? She put the fire under me to like, do this thing. You know, you can do it now. You don't have to wait. Like, you can prepare and start the training, but you don't have to wait on this until it's perfect. You can put it into motion. So I bring her on the podcast. I talk to her about her journey, like what was happening before she got picked for Oprah's book club pick, you know, because she'd been writing for years, 4 years, and had so many people supporting her. So I really wanted to invite authors onto the podcast to talk about their journey and what it's like. And I think when you hear other people's stories and they're honest about them, it encourages you. It's like, okay, I can do that too. Like, she did it and she's giving me some tips and some clues. Let me try to do it too, you know? So that's what I wanted to do with the podcast, really get into intimate conversations with folks.
That's nice. Now, Comia and I do podcasting, and I wanted to ask Comia, in hearing what Glory is saying, do you think that with your podcast, for example, do you feel as though the audience is ready for what you're saying, even now listening to her about Well-Read Black Girl?
I think they are. I think you just have to push past. Sometimes our own inner fears is what stops us from pushing past. Because I feel like anytime you open up yourself to the world, there's always somebody that will resonate with your story. And people want to hear your story.
Absolutely.
I think they're definitely.
Elbi doesn't have a podcast yet, but she does have a lot of feedback for supporting new artisans or people in general who are doing whatever. She's gun-ho in supporting that. Elbi, in listening to her, do you feel that the support that you're providing, that level of push, do you feel like it's making a significant difference in those that you impact?
Well, I sure hope so. I don't know if I've ever actually asked them
Mhm.
if it's made, a significant impact. I can tell you that, for instance, in the space, we have, 3 different artists, doing murals in our space. And one of the artists, I came in there to check on her and I was like, "Hey girl, what you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm just, scappling." And I'm just sitting back and I'm just watching her. And the time is going by and I've missed 1, 2, 3 appointments. And she turns around and she says, um, should I leave? I'm sorry. Am I holding you up? And I said, "No, I was just watching. I'm sorry." And she said, "You're making me really nervous." And I said, "Oh, well, I don't mean to. Let me get up. Let me adjust. You're doing your thing." And she said, "No, because I have never done this before. I had never been given the opportunity to have a commercial space, and I don't want to mess it up. And I don't want to let you down." And, she had a little couple of tears in her eyes. And I started to well up too, because I didn't even realize the impact or the gravity of this for her, because for me, I'm just grateful that she's doing something for the space. And, there's a reciprocity there. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm not setting out saying, "Oh, I'm going to help all these people." Honestly, all of these artisans, including yourself, Tia, are helping me because I wanted to actualize a space where everyone was accounted for and seen, and you all rallied behind that idea. So I'm probably more grateful than anything.
That's awesome. And a good friend of mine told me a long time ago that you don't have to ask people if you're making an impact on them. You can just see it. When you start hearing someone, like some people tell me all the time, "You sound just like your mentor." And that's something she would have said. And I feel that though that is representation of impact. When we start emulating the things that people pour into us, you don't necessarily have to ask, you just see it. So that level of impact that you had on her, it meant more to her than, not to say that it meant to you, but it was just such a big deal for her to ensure that your space was beautiful. So now I can't wait to see it.
Oh, it's nice. Oh, it's so nice.
I know. We're going to see it together, Glory. We're going to go I'm going to go before you, but we'll make sure you might have a Howard night. Knowing her.
Oh, HU, Oh, man.
Yes.
I always feel bad. There's all these SSU students around here, so I don't want to cause no beef, no chaos.
You won't. We're okay.
I doubt it would be. It's all HBCU love because Comia is SSU as well. Yeah. So it will be all love, especially did it now and next month. Some women would just be so happy to gather that it wouldn't matter because I didn't go to either school, but when in Rome, do as the Romans. So you just give me the chance, whatever I'm supposed to say, and I will. And I will. So, Glory, I know you have an amazing lineup with the podcast, but what is next with the podcast? Where do you want to see it evolve to? Because you pack on layers, and so we're in February, so there's no pressure. You still have until 2023. But where do you?
Listen, it's a lot that I want to put in there. But one thing I'm excited about is not only to talk to the authors, but to talk to the community, like bringing folks that are literary advocates, bringing bookstore owners on.
Yes.
Like just having folks come in and talk about their experiences. And making sure that it's like well-rounded. People from the book club also make guest appearances and talk about what it's like to host a book club. And I just really want all our voices to be included into the vibe that we have at the book club, which I miss. We've been doing everything virtually over the last 2 years, but when we're in the room doing the book club, it's just so much fun, you know, like the festival, I always call it the family reunion because it's like, okay, we all come in, we're wearing our t-shirts, we got our books, we're getting them signed. It's a good time. And quite honestly, when we can gather again, I really want to have like a big old dance party. I want to have like, I know that's not related to the podcast, but that's what I want to do. I just want to have like I want us to be, what is that saying by Alice Walker? Like, you know, hard times require furious thinking. Like, I want us to go in and just have a good time and celebrate and everything together. So that's what I'm working towards. There's going to be some amazing more guests. We have Britt Bennett coming on. We'll have Disha Filial. Like, she's going to come. You know, The Secret Lives of Church Ladies is my favorite book. I love that book. Well, I think there's just so many amazing people that we're going to be on the show. So I hope folks download, subscribe, do all the things wherever you listen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever it is. However you listen to your podcast, like download it and hit me up. I'm not in my DMs too much, but you know, you can like share, send a heart, send a like.
Right. And we will. And guess what? So I was going to say, how soon are you trying to party? Because Savannah
that's what I was thinking too.
is the home of St. Patrick's Day. Like, we're second in the country. We're having a celebration. So we could squeeze you in. I don't know how.
I didn't know. I mean, I guess there's Black people everywhere. I guess for St. Patty's Day, we could do a step in the name. You know?
That'd be wonderful.
Absolutely. A live podcast showing. Ooh.
Yes.
DJ, we can have a whole good time.
I think that would
figure it out.
Yes. See, Elbi,
because I want to come see the mural. I want to see the mural. I want to do all the things. Maybe we can give ourselves a little more time. We could do like the summer. We could do the spring.
And I'm pretty sure between the three of us, we can get all of this done. We can get permits together. We're gonna have it. It's gonna be great.
Yes, and I'm. It's very dangerous to say anything around me that you want to see happen because I go from bookstore owner to a whole nother hat, and I'll be like, "Hey, girl, me emailing you from another email. Let's do it."
That means you execute, and we need people who execute and get stuff done. Okay, I appreciate a good let's go project manager. I'm all for it.
Glory,
I'm ready to travel too, to be honest. I'm ready. Some of my girlfriends, they just booked a 40th trip overseas, and I was like, oh, okay, we doing that? We ready? We back to ready to go? I am ready. I want to do stuff safely, of course, but I'm definitely ready to like start meeting folks out and gathering and celebrating things. So you can put me on the list. We can figure something out.
So probably as soon as this is over, as soon as this is over, I'm quite sure there'll be another conversation immediately following.
I would give it 24 hours, Comia. She's gonna be like, wait.
And we have a beach too, so if you need some fun in the sun, we can plan that too.
Yes.
I'm all about that. I need warmth. I'm ready. I'm in DC. I'm originally from the DC area, and I lived in New York for a really long time, and I did a short little stint in LA. LA's not my favorite place, but I think I'm like, I love the South and I love the East Coast. So that's where I'm living these days. That's why I'm trying to find my vibe.
Right. So you're so lively, which I love that. Have you ever thought about bringing, I don't want to call them children, but maybe young women or like teenagers, maybe some, not so much Amanda, but in her era. Have you ever thought about bringing them on your podcast?
That is a great idea. Over the summer, I had some amazing interns that like worked with me. They were so dope, and they were like teaching me all the things because I am an elder millennial. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, what are you talking about? But they were like getting me up to date with like TikTok and showing me all the memes. And we actually hosted a young adult book club over the summer. And so we like talked to some young girls who were in high school, and they were working together to just like, we did a little stuff on Instagram and did a couple like IG lives, but mainly we just like been on Zoom and just were having great conversations. So I would love to bring them into the fold and do things on the podcast. I'm trying to figure out like the best way, you know, so I think I have to get my TikTok game up before, because that's how the young folks are communicating these
That
days.
is.
They are
Oh,
all
Lord.
taking it top.
I will read
It
them.
would take just one
I
TikTok
tried.
and it could go viral. Trust me. I did just like
It's
one,
true.
just the weirdest thing by fluke. I woke up the next morning and like 22,000 people watched it. And I did it as a joke. And I was like, oh my God.
You see,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a thing. It's a whole thing. So I have to I gotta get, because I don't know about y'all, but I love karaoke. I love a good karaoke.
Oh, I do.
But I can't sing. And I feel like everybody on TikTok can sing. They have real talent. They be dancing. People be dancing. I can't do any of those things. I have very limited coordination, but I'm gonna try. I think I need to bring in more young people, and I got to figure out TikTok. I'm going to do it. It is a goal for 2022 to just continue to work more with young people and get them engaged in reading.
Mm-hmm. Get those young girls like a panel style discussion. I think that would be really, really cool to see that perspective from the different generations. Almost like round, what is it? Red table talk for books.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we need a red table. What color? Well, they already got the red table. Maybe we'll do we'll do a turquoise table or something. We gotta pick another color.
There you go.
Not the turquoise table.
We gotta pick another color. They probably got that trademark or something.
Oh, they do. They did not leaving no coins on the table.
Oh my goodness.
No, what's funny is somebody's going to do a turquoise table tonight, and now you can't do it. I had that idea.
Spray paint. She said turquoise. Let's get out there and get the spraying.
Right. But no, seriously, I really see you doing this tour with your podcast, just various places, just popping up. Because you just have all that energy. You have a lot of energy. I love it. It is contagious energy. So I think you would be relatable. I don't know about the TikTok because I probably have 2 followers. I can't do 2 things at one time. You want me to dance and add a song and do this? And no, I can't.
That's
so I left that
alone. Somebody said, Kimberly Miller said, call it a square table. Thanks, Kimberly.
I love that. That's hilarious.
There we go. All right.
Yeah. Square table.
Just change the shape. It's okay.
Yes. Kimberly, hurry up and put RTM behind that so we can at least save it for tonight. We can at least have it registered and trademarked illegally tonight so you don't lose it. So, oh my God, this is so awesome. Tell me, how did you get former President Barack Obama to invade your Zoom? That is amazing.
Right. Well, I wish I could take more credit for that, but that was really more behind the scenes. Over the years, I've been able to, meet some really incredible publicists, and their team had everything planned and really just knocked on my door. And I said yes immediately. I said, yes, President Obama. Okay, can you tell Mrs. Obama that I love her? It was really easy for me to accept that invitation. I said yes, and I was ready. So, but I had to read the book really quickly. It is a dense, and it's very different from his other 2 books. It's more about policy. It's really a clarification of his presidency, and I love political books and current affairs, but that isn't my wheelhouse per se. I really love contemporary fiction and more storytelling. So I had to really get into it and take notes and make sure that I was prepared for the discussion. And thankfully I was able to do it with a group of girlfriends from the book club. And it was we were doing a college team project. It was okay, you get chapters 3 through 8, take notes here. It was just a very intense 48 hours of us making sure we had everything prepared and we were well read. And it was just, it was wonderful. I felt very honored. And I had a really beautiful moment. So at the time, I had just given birth to my son, and my son was oh gosh, maybe like 6 months old. And so before we started the podcast, I was like, can you please say hi to my baby? So we have like a small little clip of President Obama saying hello to my son. And my son wasn't even paying attention. I put him in a Frederick Douglass onesie. I was like so ready. I was like,
wow.
We are ready for the president. Please just like say hello. And my son was like flipping the book around, not paying attention. He was being a baby. So we're going to play that video like every year on his birthday or something. Like, look, that one time you met the president for like 5 seconds and I had you in a Frederick Douglass onesie. But we were
wow.
Look out for your girlfriends.
Right. Right. That is awesome. I couldn't imagine getting that call. I'd have been like, all right, clear the whole deck. It's just gonna be me and you tonight, President. It's just, what happened to all your friends?
I had to bring my friends along. I was too nervous. I feel so much more confident when I'm with my friends. I'm like, it's hard doing things alone. Like it's nice to, be in a panel with with your friends, your homies. Right. Sometimes doing stuff alone, it's like, oh Lord, my stomach was already, I couldn't even eat the night before. I was so anxious,
I bet. But you did well. I mean, you flowed right with it. Even, I don't know what I would have done. It probably would have been a waste of my publicist.
No, I can tell you would have been super professional. Listen, you would have done it.
Okay? You'd have been back here with your.
I would have figured it out. 10 minutes into it, I would have figured it out. They would have been like, "Is she mute? No, she's not mute. She's just taking it all in." That is awesome. I'm glad you have a good team, because that's something that the three of us, we try to make sure that we have the right people around us at all times. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, when you take someone over another that you prefer it. It's just that in the direction that you're going, sometimes there are particular people that can go on that journey. So backing up a little bit, when you're going back from year 1 to now, this is year 8 or 9, how did you decide who goes on the journey and who stays?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of it is about like what you need, those tools. Like some people are really wonderful with project management and being organized, and some folks are like your hype woman, your hype man. They give you the energy. They're very enthusiastic and give you the encouragement. And you just have to, when it comes to building a team, just like really being able to understand what the person's gifts are and how to like make sure you're giving them the task or the responsibility that illuminates that. So, one of my colleagues and great friends, Megan, she is like our festival lead and coordinator when it comes to like pulling together the festival and like booking the artists and booking the authors. She is so phenomenal, and she's grown with me. And I mean, at the time we met, she was still in undergrad, about to graduate, and like since then, her career has continued to grow, and she's been just doing so great. She's also a poet. So I like really do my best to give people responsibilities where they feel valued and they can contribute. And give them good feedback, and I also understand like I'm growing in this process and I don't have everything perfect. So we just like support each other. We try to be really honest about how we're growing and how we feel about things. It's like, okay, if I give you this responsibility, this project, do you like it? And how does it, when the project is done, can we like be reflective of what worked and what didn't? And, like doing that and checking in as much as possible really helps.
And it's funny that you said that. Oh, go ahead, Elbi.
Oh, I said, I love that she does after action reports.
Yes. I wanted to ask you, since, because you have it all together in my mind. I mean, I know you would probably be like, girl, no. But I wanted to know, how do you balance? You're a mom, you're author, podcast. And so we're moms too. We're entrepreneurs, we're moms. Elbi's opening a brick and mortar. Like, how do you balance everything and still achieve your goals?
I am a faithful person, so there is a lot of prayer involved. There is a lot of just being patient with myself and being self-compassionate, and also thinking about just like my long-term goals. And even as I'm looking towards the future, still being present and grateful in the present. And I think when I do that, like, I'm not overwhelmed by like just like the accolades and getting to the next place. I'm just like, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be present in the work that I'm doing, and I'm going to enjoy it and celebrate and give thanks. And as I do that, it helps me just like have a real clear idea of my priorities. And as you can see, I talk a lot, so I ask a lot of questions as I'm doing things. Like everyone is seeing the windfall of the success of the books and everything current, but the podcast took a very long time to come to fruition. There were lots of conversations. There were a lot of like pre-production and planning that went into place. And the pandemic and my pregnancy, like it definitely delayed my timeline. I was hoping originally that I would have launched this in 2019. And clearly I wasn't able to do it until 2022. So what does that mean? I had to be really patient. I had to like really be clear about my vision and be patient that it would come to fruition on God's time, not mine, So I think I really trust the timing of my life. I say that a lot because timing is everything. Sometimes you think you want something, but you're not prepared for it. So I try to like be patient in the preparation and be present and be grateful. So those are my keys. I don't know if I'm always doing it right, but I really try my best to like live in that space.
That's awesome. I'm gonna pose that same question to Elbi because again, we're all in the same space. We're moms, we're business owners, we're trying to make things happen. How do you do it, Elbi? How do you find the balance? And she just gave her son an awesome birthday party in the middle of building her brick and mortar. I was like, dang it, my son's birthday is next month. Let me get on it.
I don't necessarily know if I found the balance, but I was talking to a good friend of mine. She's actually an author. Her name is Trelawney Michelle. She wrote Crack Teat, which is a reference to Savannah culture, Black culture. And we were having a conversation the other day. We always pose questions to each other in the morning. And one of the questions that she asked me that particular morning was, what is different about you from 10 years ago? And I was telling her that I think my mindset is different, and I have this freedom in the inside of me where I don't necessarily feel so bound by other people's opinions. And so I just I'm learning to go with the rhythm of life instead of this contract that I've made with myself. Like I'm supposed to be married at this time, or I'm supposed to have a kid, or I'm supposed to have, $100,000 in the bank, or do this or do that. And now I'm just kind of like practicing the let go. So I don't have it all together. I probably have a panic attack probably about once a week. But I'm grateful because I have good girlfriends and I have good support systems that kind of rally around me and cocoon me and say, okay, girl, all right, you got your moment. Now tighten up. We got stuff to do. And so that's pretty much how I go through life.
Wow, that's good. I like that question that she asked you 10 years ago. Comia, we're going to ask you the same question. We were asking Glory, how does she put it all into perspective, being a mom, business owner, author, podcaster, and we led Elbi to the same question. And so now I'm asking you, how do you do it all? Because you're always on the go, and you are a mom and a podcast and an author and all these other things.
Sometimes I don't know. I really don't know. Like sometimes I just sit back and say, how in the world did I do all of those things at one time? And it's God. Mm-hmm. It's almost the same thing like Elbi said, you just kind of ebb and flow with life, and you have to get out of your own head. Sometimes we try to write things like in concrete. Okay, I need to have this done, this done, this done, and just down this list. when in actuality, it does not happen that way.
Mhm.
And I just kind of go with the flow of things. What's important, that definitely takes precedence, of course. But for the most part, I just go with the flow, and I'm led by spiritually what moves me.
Mhm.
Because, I firmly believe in my vision board. So what I put up there, it's going to happen. It's going to manifest, but it's all in God's timing.
Mm.
So I
Right.
just definitely go with the flow of things. Yeah. Like I'm going with the flow with my internet acting up tonight. I'm just kind of going with the flow with that.
Well, it is it's a windstorm.
I'm just
And
like, okay.
where
And I'm
Elbi
happy.
and I are, so it's a lot of wind happening. So I was just over here like, okay, it's like, God, we just gave you credit. Please give us 10 more minutes with this windstorm. But all of you said something so powerful, and it's very faith-based in doing what we do. I honestly have to tip my hat to every woman, every mother, every entrepreneur, every leader, because it's a lot that comes with this. And I tell people all the time, I don't have it all together. Like, I don't have it all together so bad, I'm missing letters in altogether. So and I'm serious. It's just that sometimes you just got to go with it. I have a charge to do what I'm doing, and I have to do it in excellence. But that does not mean as soon as I say clear, or, after the bells and whistles, I'm having a panic attack, or I'm like, oh my God, I can't, it's so easy to go with the flow. But sometimes, I've been learning a lot this year, the importance of self-care, because I didn't know what that was. It was sun up to sundown business for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was go, 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 go. And I had to stop myself. I just was like, I don't know. Something happened to me when I turned 40. I don't know what happened to me. I think I got kidnapped by my 39-year-old self. But I couldn't do things like I used to, and it had me really down. Like, I was like, God, why do people want to get older so bad? This is depressing. But I had to realize that was just all in my head, because you're not supposed to be so busy where you're not being a blessing, or where you're not being productive. And so I got confused with being busy and thinking, oh, well, I'm just doing it. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. And I'm like, going home, looking in the mirror like, girl, you crazy. Pick one thing, do it, and be done.
You know what, Tia? But the thing about it is, a lot of times we don't even take time to look back and reflect on all of the success that we've already had.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of keep pushing through to the next, to the next, to the next. But I promise you that all of us sitting here right now, if we just take a moment, even tonight, after we're off screen, sit back and reflect and look at all the things that you've accomplished up until now, and just kind of soak it up. Just bask in those amazing things that you've already done. And I don't think we do that enough. Like, we're very hard on ourselves as women. We're very hard on ourselves,
Absolutely.
So we need to celebrate those small wins as well as those big wins. I mean, all of us on this format have done some amazing things, but we never, like I said, we never stop to take the time and say, you know what? I have done a lot of great stuff, and in a short period of time.
What were you going to say, Elbi?
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. I had a friend who said this the other day. She said, we get so addicted to the hustle that we forget to cross the finish line. And I had to stop and really reflect on that. Like, oh, yeah, we really do. And especially in American culture, this go, 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 hustle, 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 beat the pavement mentality. There's never a moment to just stop and breathe.
Right.
That's where gratitude comes from. It comes from the quiet moments.
I 100% agree with that. I keep a gratitude jar, and every little thing. I wrote a paragraph today. It's in the jar. I had a successful. Any moment that feels good, and I try to have like a big, like a mason jar, and then the end of the week, or that's usually at the end of the week, end of the year, I pour it out and I look like, and it's so easy to forget like all these wonderful things that have happened to you because life is, it goes by so quickly. Keep that jar. I can't wait for my son to actually understand what I'm doing so I can do it with him and he can share his moments. And, we have to keep tally. We got to keep our prayer list, our gratitude list, because we have to have reflections and look back and be able to just be aware of the progress that we're making and the patterns that may be, taking us off track. Like when you keep a list, when you are journaling, you can see the patterns and get back in line and just give gratitude. And I agree. We all have so many talents and so many wonderful people that surround us. And we want to give them thanks too and support them and their goals and their missions. And it's hard. You can get tunnel vision, but we don't like that. We want to look around and be like, oh, come on, sis, let's do it together. It's more fun with people. I really deeply,
it really is.
Feel that. It's like, it's so much fun when you do it with your girlfriends, when you do it with your family, when you do it with your community. Like we shouldn't be trying to do things alone. And I don't even think that's in our spirit, in our culture. Like that ain't a Black thing.
We're village.
It's definitely not a woman thing.
Exactly. So now we're your new BFFs. Now I'm probably the oldest one on the format, so you'll be my goddaughter from now on. Okay, Glory. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'd be honored. I'd be so honored.
And she's your travel buddy, because if you tell her tonight that you are going someplace, she'll say, "Okay, sweetie, and where do I need to be?" I'm
exactly.
like, "We planning
ready." And I'm going to buy jars for all of us tomorrow. So yes.
Oh, that'll be nice. That would be nice. So are you thinking about doing a festival or?
Yeah, well, I did the last two festivals we've done have been virtual. We've had to do it virtual because of the pandemic. And we typically have them at either the end of October or top of November. So our last one was November 2nd. So I'm hopeful if it is safe and, the main thing is safety. If it's safe, we will proceed and do a live festival. If not, we'll be virtual again. But hopefully we can, be safe and we can do it. And if anybody wants information on the festival or they want to see last year's videos, it's up and it's at wellreadblackgirl.org.
Yes, I was just getting ready to ask you to tell us how we can keep in touch, how we can listen. I've enjoyed you so much. I feel like, we've all known each other for a long time, and you've met
I feel the same way too. Honestly, I can't wait to see the culture space. Like I can't wait to come down here. Y'all don't gotta tell me twice. I'm gonna come down and hang out.
Well, we will be up there because I need an excuse to be up there, so we coming.
Come and DC. Listen, there's plenty of stuff to do up here. We can figure the cherry blossoms are coming.
I need to go to Bus Boys. I got my whole list.
Yes. The Cherry Blossom Festival. When is the Cherry Blossom Festival?
It's usually, I gotta look it up. It's usually in the spring. Like I feel like it's gonna be like May. Yeah, April, May,
Okay.
Yeah, the cherry blossoms.
If that's going on, then we can all come up together. We'll all fly up together, Glory, all of us.
Oh my goodness! There's Sankofa, there's Sankofa bookstore. There's so many. We could do a whole bookstore tour.
Yes.
Listen, I'm gonna start packing tonight. I was about to look like Viola Davis. I'm gonna start grabbing my purse. I'm out. I'm ready.
I told you.
I'm ready. Let me just grab my cord, my phone. I'm ready.
I love how you're like, phone, cord, let's go.
Let's go.
That's it. You just buy clothes when she gets there.
We can buy clothes there. They got stores up there.
Right.
Listen, Elbi.
Y'all are a mess.
Glory, I'm going to send them your information and likewise so you guys can stay in touch and everything. This is so exciting. And I will send you the opening day for well, she can send it by that time. She'll have your information. You guys will be besties, but she can definitely invite you. And we would love to have you here in the beautiful hostess city of Savannah, Georgia. And we don't have cherry blossoms. We have moss, but you'll love it. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. I have been wanting to visit Savannah for a very long time, so I'm ready. You all tell me when. We'll make a trip. We'll come out. I'll come out. I said, well, it can be my son. I'll bring my son with me too.
Brenda Singleton says she's ready too. Brenda.
Yes.
She says she's ready.
Just come before July and August.
Okay.
Just come before then, please.
Is it bad? Is it like too hot in July?
Just come before then, please. Yes. We love our city, but
did you see my face? Did she see my face?
Yes. Okay. Aim towards this side.
Okay, done. All right.
Yes, but listen, I have enjoyed all of you, especially our new friend Glory Edim. Make sure you get her book, all of her books, all of her works. Listen to the Well-Read Black Girl podcast. We want all of our women to be well-read Black girls. And also for those who registered tonight, she has given us these beautiful bookmarks. Now I had a question. Mm-hmm. And you're Howard and everything. And so I'm a Delta. And when I saw this,
that wasn't me. That was the creative department on the team.
Okay, sweetie. Okay.
Listen, my friend Sasha was like going in after they printed. She said, "Girl, do you know what you did?" I said, "Wait, what?"
Yes.
But I was like, "There's blue. There's the blue stuff." She's like, "No, nobody's gonna be seeing that blue shirt you wearing with all that pink and green." I didn't. It was not until it was printed. They were printed out of my hands. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they are so pretty. And you're right. I didn't pay attention to your blue shirt because all I saw was a sea of pink and green.
I know. Yes. I'm so sorry.
I said, oh my goodness. Maybe she thought this was a different bookstore, but it's okay.
It was, trust me, it was not. That was not me. Like, I didn't create these. They're beautiful.
It's okay. I'm just messing with you. They are pretty. And I love all of them.
You don't understand. It was like my whole group chat was at me. And I was like, wait, what? I did not see this. So yes, you are not the only one. I have been getting all the reprimands about these bookmarks. That's why we can't print no more.
It's okay. It's all love.
Let you be great. It is fine.
Right. It's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be something.
But it's a real thing. We know what happened with Insecure. When Amanda,
poor Amanda.
Yes. Right. So I can't ignore it. I have to be accountable. So that was my bad. That was the creative team with Pushkin. My bad. And I love them. I love my team. But the color scheme, I don't think they understood. They didn't know about the AKs. They did not know.
It's perfect for February. It was very perfect for February. I thought that your podcast is coming out. Here they are, pushing the love and the pink envelope. But then when I saw that green, I said, now wait a minute. But again, it's all love. We all started at your beloved Howard, and so that makes us family, and that makes us all one. So it's okay. It's okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we come in peace. Elbi, do you have any last remarks that you want to say to the audience, or just recap when you are going to open your fabulous space and different things like that?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really grateful to be on this platform, to be in the company with all of you. I appreciate it. Yes, the Culturist Union is about 90% done. We got our permits approved yesterday, so we just got a little bit more painting, a little bit more plumbing, and a little bit more lights to put up. We got to sweep up, clean up, and then we'll be ready to go. So if you give me a couple of weeks, I'll be announcing our opening pretty soon.
Yes! Look at that well-read Black girl magic. I love it.
All day.
Yes. Comia, you have any wrap-ups for us?
My wrap up this evening is I had a wonderful time. She has given me, Glory, you gave me so much energy tonight. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm on a high. I really, really do. I thank you. And just to let even older ladies, seasoned women like myself, you're never too late to learn. and you're never too old to learn more. Like, you've just given so much energy you put out there. And I just want to thank you for that. And all of the ladies, Tia, thank you. Elbi, thank you. I'm looking forward to coming to your spot. I'll probably be a regular, Elbi, so you'll see me all the time coming to get coffee. But
yes,
I cannot wait. I can't wait. And I really look forward to seeing all of us working together in the near future, and maybe all of us going on tour. And let's reach out to Auntie Oprah and see what she says.
Well, you know, she's the ambassador. She didn't say that in the beginning. I got all these humble friends who are just like, oh, I'm just a little grasshopper, just waiting my turn to hop. And then I have some friends that are like, oh, and next I am. You're just, oh, okay. But I love it. I love your energy, guys. Thank you. So, well, ladies, I'm so used to saying guys, but you guys understand. You ladies understand. I thank you so much. This has been such an honorable opportunity to have you here, Glory. Like we said, we're all going to connect. And to our listeners and party watchers tonight, thank you so much for joining in. You can also review this again on YouTube. Make sure you're following More Books. If you need books, make sure that you're visiting More Books, www.morebooks.llc.com. And I thank you so much. You ladies have a good night.
Good
All right.
night.
Bye.